Welcome to the Bring Me to Life podcast. Here are your hosts, CeeLo Mon and Shannon Shine.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in with us this evening. We're grateful that you decided to wake up and shine on with us.
Yeah, this is podcast 71. We're talking with Gabriel Cavazos about the architecture of the universe. We talk about what the sustainable technologies that are coming out are going to be like. We talk about sacred geometry. We talk about free energy. We talk about a lot of really cool things that I'm very excited to premiere for everybody.
Yeah, we basically cover a lot of really good information. So stay tuned with us and enjoy this podcast and share it with your friends.
Mm-hmm. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Project Bring Me to Life. Bringing to life the conscious arts. Giving a voice to spirituality. Covering art, music, metaphysics, and holistic health.
My name is Gabriel Cavazos, and I am in pursuit of a pure, natural world. One that honors the intelligent design of a supreme architect. Sacred architecture that is in pure alignment with all the natural forces of our universe. Architecture of the universe. Sacred geometry principles that have existed since the beginning of time. This is Project ARCOTU. My mission is to uncover the secrets of sacred design and build a new bioenvironment as a direct extension of life.
All right, everybody, and welcome to the show. You just saw the video about ARCOTU, and we have the CEO and founder of that. Welcome to the show, Gabriel.
So it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you both for having me on. I'm looking forward to some great discussion here.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Me too. So if you could, just for the audience, please tell us a little bit about yourself, where you come from, and what projects are you working on?
Well, I'll give you a quick 1-2 on the advent of getting to where I'm at. I have spent a lifetime involved in action sports, the music world, martial arts. I've been on a spiritual journey pretty much all my life of trying to somewhat, one way or another, figure out who I am. And along the way, I've had the opportunity to utilize my life in especially water and my obsession with water and the study and work of the late Dr. Masaru Emoto. Nowadays, now that I've been able to transform into a much more dedication to sciences and our existence, and that led me into design, architecture, and building, which I spent most of my career in, the larger part of my adult career in developing my parent company, CavCon Industries, which for decades was primarily mired into conventional construction, all toxic building, so to say. So I spent a lot of years learning some very, very valuable information from standardized existence, and I've been able to transform that experience of a wealth of knowledge in some of the world's largest and most exotic structures in the world. And I've been able to pull that over into this enlightenment, renaissance of consciousness we are all experiencing in this era of the sacred feminine. I like to kind of coined it. I believe that we're transitioning into a new era of existence, like Carl Jung has explained to people.
Yeah.
But that has allowed me to participate in many, many projects in design orientation, build orientation, you name it, all that arena. And about 7 to 10 years ago, I started becoming really despondent with my participation in building beautiful buildings that are toxic and polluting our environment. And it really started playing havoc with me internally, as well as the journey I was on spiritually. And when I was on the Fountain Blue project, which was the largest structure in Las Vegas, we built the Fountain Blue Hotel Resort Casino, and that was my D-Day, where I decided that right in the middle of my contract there that I could not participate even for one day longer.
Mm.
And I made a concrete decision on a day when the place was banging. We were up around the 60 plus floors of a 73-story building, 73 I believe it was, if I recall right, over 900 foot tower. Mm-hmm. And I suddenly realized that at the pinnacle of my conventional career, that none of it what I was supposed to be doing. I just knew I had no longer had a place in that arena.
Wow.
And it was a hardcore 1 day cold turkey shot.
Yeah.
And went in and said, I'm done. And I walked away from it and haven't looked back since, thank God.
Wow.
Yeah, it seems like quite the waking point to just realize all of those things that you've been working so hard for wasn't really where you needed to be at the time. But it seems like it opened up when you had that realization to so many bigger, better opportunities for you to really help the world in a better way.
A much better way. It's a great point because like I said, I'd already been evolving before I actually made that decision. And I knew where I had to be. I knew where I was going. I knew that I was going to walk into an arena where basically it was a completely new frontier. I mean, I'm even feeling like, 10 years later, 7 to 10 years later, that we're just barely beginning to touch the outer edge of where we're going for the future of a new paradigm in economy and lifestyle. And I'm just like one element of this amazing renaissance that's taking place. I feel very, very blessed where I'm at and what I'm doing.
You termed Renaissance of Consciousness, and that's really amazing. And the fact that you're doing architecture of the universe, so many things that I would like to touch on. But you said that you decided to end it after you were like finished with the 60th floor of this resort in Las Vegas. What really prompted you to want to stop working on this building?
Well, like I said, I'd already been on somewhat of a personal journey and getting deeper and deeper into my own internal psyche of who it was I believed I was, and where I was transforming on a conscious level, on a spiritually, very, very deep spiritual conscious level I'd already been experiencing where I'd gone. I basically have been on a journey all my life, but it was like really, really exponential at that particular time in my life. And it was just resonating with me to start moving in really new environmental ways. I was really already very conscious to some of the detriment that was happening around the globe from an environmental standpoint. I was highly affected internally by what was happening with our oceans and all of the life within our ocean element. Just every part of our existence was like really resonating on like do something about it level with me. Wow. When I made that decision, I knew exactly what I needed to do and how to do it. And I went both feet in and full bore forward. Everybody thought I was crazy. Everybody around me is going like, what are you doing? You're going to go start building eco what? I mean, it wasn't, it's like people didn't have any idea of what I was even talking about with respect to, basically turning around and going back to hunter-gatherer ways, Yeah. And no one could understand it. Everybody thought I was losing my mind when I first started talking about it, and I actually did it.
I could imagine.
Something I like to have pointed out for people is kind of like a timeline. There's all these people with these great ideas similar to what you're trying to do, where they want to build these communities and build this sacred space for people to really grow and flourish, but they're so afraid to really make that jump and jump into it like you did. If you don't mind, could you give us kind of like a time frame? It seems like you put a lot of time into the CavCon Industries and your architecture work, and to be able to build a big building, the largest structure in Las Vegas. So you had to have put time and effort into that, and then you just kind of walked away from it and started this whole new dream. About like, how old were you when you decided that you were going to follow your dream and really run with it?
Well, I mean, I was fortunate in my early life. I mean, I was an entrepreneur while I was still in high school. I got my first record contract when I was in high school in Hollywood.
That's
It wasn't
awesome.
even, it was a major deal. I got a major deal with Chrysalis Records back then, which was a label that Pat Benatar was signed to. So Chrysalis Records was a huge label in Hollywood. So I became an entrepreneur at a very, very young age. And I just evolved and evolved and evolved. And construction actually like found me.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought that I was going to continue to be a rock star and a surf bum. That's all I wanted to do. and construction, just like, I remember when I graduated from high school, I needed to generate some money before I went away to school to Chico State up in Northern California. And I got a job with no experience. I talked to this guy back then in Southern California. They were really popular with these aluminum awning enclosures that got put on the back of homes,
Yeah.
So I was like 17, and I didn't even barely had my own car or whatever. And I got a job with this guy, and before I knew it, I had like 3 accounts, and I made like $20,000 that summer to take with me to school. So between music and stuff like that, it just propelled me into being a self-made man from a very early age.
Yeah, wow. How old were you when you walked away from the Fountain Blue project?
Fountain Blue project was 8 years ago, so I just turned 50.
See,
And
that's a inspiring statement to be able to walk away and to follow your dreams. There's so many people that when they hit about 50, they have that midlife crisis, and instead of doing something positive and stopping and dropping their job and doing big, better things, they kind of fall into a slump. So it's such an inspiring thing when I see people of the generation really moving forward rather than going backward.
Well, you're touching base on something that I'm kind of currently involved with, which is I have a huge influx and dedication to the health and wellness arena. So I spend a lot of time studying, especially subjects like epigenetics and microbiome and all of this human anatomy stuff that relates to what my core end destination goal, which is to realize living structure, so that we live in an environment that is totally synergistic with all of our energy frequencies and forces of life. So I study immense human anatomy and how that connects with the environmental signal. Because I look at the design of any structure in the same way that I look at the human cell, and the human cell, how it generates its interpretation of environmental signal. And that is exactly what we do everywhere. So the structure needs to do the same thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. So something else that I believe you study, if I read your bio correctly, is you incorporate sacred geometry in the design of your buildings and your structures. And I'm curious how you do that and why it's important to do that.
Well, first of all, sacred geometry is the architecture of the universe. It is the form, the geometric transformation form of existence
It's so true.
by geometry. And in that geometry, shapes are created. And from that geometry and shape, it originates from sound frequency. So all of this goes together in creating the truth of the geometry of existence, of creation, of all creation. Sacred geometry exists in everything there is in our universe.
Yeah.
Everything. So when you look at it from that standpoint, then you start transposing the truth of that to the idea of biomimicry in terms of the way that I view how we generate design orientation.
Mhm.
Because we're replicating. So I don't really believe I'm a person doesn't believe that we don't really invent anything. We're just discovering what's already here.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's already the intelligent design of the supreme architect has done all of this.
Mhm.
So the more that we can study and align ourselves with the true essence of creation harmonically on frequency levels. As you all know, everything is in vibration. We are all truly one gigantic life source, truly totally connected. That's my goal in terms of what I do. Is in terms of being a bioenvironmental design engineer, is my ultimate goal to synergistically and 100% align everything together.
Wow. Yeah. So you use a new paradigm in bioenvironmental off the grid eco-sustainability. So this like sacred geometry that you're using is helping you construct these eco-sustainable buildings. And what is this new paradigm that you think? I remember watching this video on your website, and it was this video about these people dancing and creating this like this wall. I can't remember where it was, but you mentioned that that this is something that could have possibly been done on the Giza pyramids. So is this something that we're relearning in our architecture?
Absolutely. I think if anyone does the amount of studying that I do, and certainly individuals like Graham Hancock, a great explorer who's out there proving by discovery of finding more and more relics that actually give us the opportunity to scientifically study them and find truth and facts. And all of this is continuing to prove that the ancient civilization of the Egyptian civilization, and even before that, as well as the Greeks, even before that, like the Anunnaki. Are you familiar with the civilization of the Anunnaki?
I've heard of the Anunnaki and Nibiru.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you look back at these, they obviously had an amazing intelligence for understanding all of these universal energies and geometry and the connection between cosmos and planet Earth. They knew it. They knew all of this, and it is my personal belief that they were already delving into levitation and areas of that nature. You take a look at the Giza pyramid, and when you assess trying to build that, even with modern day technology, would be a monumental feat. So in light of that, if that kind of technology did not exist, how was it done?
That's a very useful just an idea of I'm just visioning all these people and the Egyptian, I guess kind of stereotypical Egyptian thing, just building this big pyramid and levitating bricks, and I just had a very interesting vision there.
Well, that's part of the reason why we delve so much into sound frequency technology, because we're already proving scientifically that sound frequency can definitely generate levitation. So that's part of the future with our goals in developing self-erection to build skyscrapers without cranes and equipment of that nature.
Yeah,
where the building erects itself from the top down.
Wow. That's
rather.
That's something I made a note of before the interview, was the fact that you mentioned self-erecting techniques. I'm curious to learn more about that. How would a building erect itself?
Because with the continued development of science right now, you can erect a structure that allows you to formulate floors at a ground level and then have them raised to the top floor and shift and lock into position. And then start building that, like if you had a 50-story structure, you'd put the 50th floor on first, or the roof on first, and then by means of technology and different ways that we're trying to develop right now, that floor could actually be erected at ground level, and then hoisted up by several different types of means into place, so that you no longer need the cranes. That's millions. Like when we built the Fontainebleau Casino, hundreds of millions of dollars were spent on the cost of cranes alone. Yeah. So this all turns into a reduction, actually, of cost to build buildings of the same value.
Sounds like
of the same stature, so to say, too, as well, and then be non-toxic.
Yeah.
We've been developing organic composite material that's non-toxic to replace toxic steel. Concrete is toxic. Steel is toxic. The manufacturing behind producing them is toxic. The transportation of getting them to site is toxic. Everything is toxic, and our plan is to eradicate all toxic contribution to our planet.
Yeah.
In fact, achieve zero impact on our environment any longer. We need to stop that. So these are part of the component of new replaceable materials to the future sustainability. Part of it is to replace toxic materials that are being used, toxic procedures that are being used to create all this. You name it, on and on and on. We need a replacement. We need to give Mother Earth a chance to replenish. We've got to stop eradicating all of the rainforest and the place that we're logging around the world, because we're killing our environment. That's what's contributing to global warming. Yeah, big time.
Sounds like some beautiful architectural magic that you're really waking the world up to, and helping be a leader in this movement and this new paradigm. We've been talking a lot about how you're doing the building and why it's important to create the structures in such a way. But let's talk a little bit more about what ARCOTU really is, and the foundation behind it, and where it is. Where are you building this new paradigm?
All over. We have four projects in North Carolina. I'm getting ready to sign a new one that's dear to my heart project here in Muskegon, Michigan. We're working on designing and finalizing the contract for the United States, the U.S.'s first organic skate park.
Wow.
And facility in Muskegon, Michigan. So I'm excited. That one's dear to my heart because I've been involved with skateboarding and surfing and all of the action sports arena all my life. So I feel really blessed to be working with a really fun, creative project, and that's breaking new ground and has potential to impact one of the largest growing participatory industries in the world, which is action sports.
Yeah.
So we're trying to reach the masses of people with this new paradigm and new mindset and lifestyle, a holistic lifestyle, and promote betterment for our planet in every arena. Because it belongs everywhere. I mean, to be conscious belongs everywhere. We need to become very conscious of our own existence and what it means for us to be stewards of our planet.
For sure, I totally agree. And the fact that you talk about eco-sustainability and all this organic composite material and whatnot, that's something that we've really been wanting to get on on Project Bring Me Life. That's something that we haven't really talked about, that we really want to talk about because it's so important for creating a sustainable world these days. Just what is this organic composite material that you're describing?
It's a basalt-based formula. That's a proprietary formula that we don't disclose, but it is basalt-based. Excuse me, and it's organic. It's already been tested in the marine transport industry. If you go to my site, you can take a look at some marine transports that are 100% organic composite material. So they are not polluting our oceans, and they are incredibly user-friendly even further because nothing sticks to the hulls. No barnacles, none of that. So it's almost maintenance-free, and it lasts forever.
Yeah.
So it's lighter, stronger, organic, and it's going to help save the continued pollution of creating toxic transports, either marine, land, or and air. So the composite material is basically just beginning to be able to be of worth to many industries, So of which we'll be continuing to develop along the way.
I think that's brilliant, and I think it's definitely vital to the world that we're trying to create a free, sustainable world. And is free energy something that you're looking into and trying to develop with these buildings and structures?
Of course, that's part of the component. That's part of the overall developed protocol of what Project ARCOTU is all about in establishing a new sacred economy. We are working, and we have in place already a new economic platform that's already working within our own projects, and continuing to actually reach out to the all of masses across the world of people to people economics. So it all encompasses having a new exchange system, housing, free energy, food production, health and wellness services, socioeconomic entertainment services, and so on, for a completely new sacred economy. And we have websites that show everything that we're doing with respect to that, and it's pretty amazing and growing, and it's reaching out. Anyone out there now, we're teaching people. Anyone out there, basically, if you take a look at the numbers involved with people that are actively involved with conscious awakening, it's huge, and it's growing and growing. You guys know this because you're smack dab in the middle of reaching out to people, with different people such as myself, to share consciousness. So the numbers are just growing and growing and growing, and we need to keep feeding that by doing what we do, and creating a platform of transition, because every one of us has this overwhelming calling to be a part of doing something, to be a part of that co-collaboration and co-creation that this renaissance of consciousness is all about. It's not about me, it's not about you, it's about all of us. And there's a lot of us now beginning to awaken and want to play their part. So this platform, it actually provides an opportunity for anyone out there who has a dream to participate in it, and doesn't want to get in debt with banks and have a hard time and a hard way funding the reality of making their dream come true. If you guys anyone out there wants to know anything about that, just go to newsacredeconomy.com.
That's awesome.
You'll begin to be awakened on how you can actually realize your own dreams in the structure of a new paradigm of a new sacred economy.
That's awesome. I think you read my mind there a little bit, because I was getting ready to really ask you what other advice that you had for others looking to really improve their community. But I also just want to personally thank you that you're doing such great things for Michigan. I know we have some deep roots in Michigan. That's where the project really seeded. And to hear that you're up there, it's so good, because there's a lot of pollution that is being put into that environment from all the industries that are there and that have been there and left there and just left kind of the area in this not the very good state. So it's good to know that there's people there making the community a more environment-friendly place.
Well, Michigan is definitely, specifically around the Metro Detroit area, has more than had its battle, without a question. But honestly, the environment here is one of infinite possibility now, because this city is in a perfect position to make some new right decisions, to head in a new direction, in a new paradigm, and it's happening. It really is. It's a wonderful thing to see.
Yeah, I would agree. We definitely have some people up in Detroit that we know who are, like Fireweed University, who are like implementing permaculture and doing all these off the grid things to really create that new paradigm that, we've all been imagining in our consciousness, and something that we really want to manifest. And it's so great. It's so great. I'm so happy to see so many people who are not only talking about it, but who are like walking the walk,
People are doing things.
Well, it's the ever growing extension of reaching out is just getting stronger and stronger, and with more individuals creating podcasts like yours and sharing and exchanging ideas and hope for the future of something better. It's just like steamrolling, and it's pretty exciting to see it happening all over the world. I get a chance to get involved with a lot of places around the world, and we got an opportunity coming up to possibly be a part of the 2020 World Expo in Dubai. And
wow.
that opportunity has opened the door for ARCOTU to participate in it. We haven't finalized it, but it's the theme of that 2020 Expo is eco-sustainability.
Yeah.
So it's really taken root, and it's because of people that are dedicated like you and getting the word out.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And yeah, every time I like Google future world or future buildings, Dubai is like one of the first places to pop up on the Google. They're just doing some very interesting things.
Yeah, definitely. They're progressive and thoroughly open-minded to the future of being a leader now in the future of eco-sustainability. So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, wow.
We want to keep doing that around. So we, some of our projects we've got them here in the United States. We have an island in Panama, 4 different properties in Costa Rica, another island in Chile, property in Ecuador, Europe, South Africa, and Australia. So the idea is my goal in creating the future of consciousness is the main focus, because we are in a transitional decade plus of time where we need to really continue to educate the masses of people around the world and create a stronger awakening of understanding and need of what we're trying to do. And that's really what all of our projects are all about right now, is to be outreaches for education and awakening.
Yeah.
Not so much in the worriness or the worrying of commercial gain from it. We need to turn them into tangible resources where people can actually experience what it is that we're promoting on a virtual global level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing. We want everybody to come and learn, get educated, and participate and co-create and be able to experience all of the different modalities that will be offered at all of the locations that we design build.
Yeah, it sounds like you said, so many of us are really on that same path. We want to build a foundation, or almost like a school or a place for people to really kind of go to learn how to do such things, because we're not taught that in school. But something that really caught my attention that you just said was you have an island and you have all these places. How does one acquire an island or even a space to really start making these things kind of happen for the community, or to make these dreams fall into place?
Well, it happens from a constituency generally of partnership with other people, putting your money where your mouth is. is the best way, because you got to acquire the property. So it's not an easy feat, but anyone and everyone can do it. I mean, if you put your mind, we become who we believe we are. Our thoughts, thought is what manifests everything. Everything is brought about by consciousness. So, if you're a believer that nothing is above your ability to reach as high as you can, then you can do that. And that's part of the wonder of what it is I believe about the awakening of this time that we're in now, because people are really, really beginning to realize that the science of our existence and intelligent design is boundless. And it is only restricted by what it is we do not allow ourselves to believe or think.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. And
So,
this has been a very motivating interview and very enlightening interview and
Inspiring.
very inspiring for sure. Just to see somebody doing all the things that you're doing. And I've heard about the Venus Project and Buckminster Fuller doing all that stuff, and when Buckminster Fuller passed away, it's like, oh man. And just to see somebody now, like in this day and age that we're living in, doing this stuff is like incredible.
I appreciate that. I'll take that as a huge compliment because, standing on the shoulders of individuals like Bucky Fuller and Jacques Fresco from the Venus Project and all these individuals who have, without question, dedicated their lives to the future of a better existence for all life, and geniuses. We're talking about a number of geniuses along the way, Tesla, and it just goes on and on. Albert Einstein, we're doing what we're doing for much of that gentleman's amazing, alchemical work. And he's definitely a person who was in touch with life source itself. And that's where we're at. I tickle pink. I can't wait for tomorrow to come. And I just want, I want everybody to feel what I feel. I literally cannot wait for tomorrow to come. So I love what I do. And I love affecting and inspiring people to join me and me join them. It's all about a co-creation environment, right?
Oh yeah.
We're all doing our part here. That's what you and I and Sharon right now are not Sharon. What is your name again?
Shannon, you're close. I get
Shannon. But I really like that. That's very Irish. Are you Irish?
I believe I have some Irish, yes.
There you go. But that is a really great name, and I won't forget it now. But anyway, this whole gravitation of people, the energy that's happening out there, pulling us all together, and really proving that the whole premise of sacred geometry, single pointedness. It really all boils down to single pointedness. And if we view our existence and how we live in this environment as one single element, then we truly know that we are all one. There is literally, we are truly in certain ways void of space-time because it's instant. We are instantaneous.
Yeah.
Wow. I really love how you put that. And we have endless possibilities. The universe is pretty much at our disposal.
It is.
That's awesome.
It is. And that's what people are, that's what this new era of. I was reading an article that was talking about the fact that this generation of children that are being born with elevated capacity. It's true. It is true. We have evolved into a new stage of human evolution that is affecting the birth of this generation in profound manner.
Mm-hmm. Oh man.
So we take a look at some of these younger kids now, age 5, 6, 7 years old, and their ability to interpret all the technology that exists today is off the hook. It's off the hook, And so we just got to find ways. That's part of what we're doing with respect to what we do in developing technologies, because part of the problem that we're trying to clean up now is what is deteriorated since the advent of the agricultural revolution 10,000 years ago. That is the beginning of the demise of what has gotten us to where we are today. And that is the continuous driving from a right brain thinking orientation to left brain thinking.
Yeah.
We need to, and we are now in the era of contemporary man that is shifting back to a more balanced left right brain thinking orientation. So I call this we are moving into the new superconscious area of the evolution of humanity.
Wow, superconscious.
For sure. Yeah, it's really hard for me to even imagine where our reality will be in about 20, 30 years from now with all the ideas that the children are coming up with. Because, when I was younger, I kind of had this illusion that 2015, by the time we hit this, it was going to be, we were already flying in space and stuff. But I mean, in some aspects that seemed unrealistic, but now the ideas and the way things really are progressing, it doesn't seem so unrealistic for 20 or 30 years from our future. And just in general, like, the children are coming up with such beautiful artwork and music, and all these other hobbies are now becoming more of a reality for them because machinery and other things in the world are kind of taking over the majority of the jobs. So our newer generation has to kind of reach for that outlook of what they can do to create or what they can do to better their space. And I'm just kind of curious of what other projects or personal hobbies that you're involved with that help inspire and keep your project moving and keep you in a positive state so that you can move forward.
Well, one of the big things that we're heavily involved in is the future of alternative education and the resources and working with many things in-house, and then also with many of the strategic alignments that we have. One organization that is one of our official nonprofit recipients of everything that Project ARCOTU does is Art Studio World, which is a nonprofit 501c3 organization that provides amazing alternative education and teaching children from very young age alternative resources like sacred geometry, biogeometry, all of these different things that standard education doesn't even talk about. Mm-hmm. And that's super, super important to become, way more conscious of our natural environment and our natural existence in our world. So we're dedicated to playing our part in the evolution of development of this bridging that needs to happen between alternative education and standardized education. So one of the things I'm doing right now is I have a full scholarship to the International Academy of Science with Dr. Roger Billings in my moving towards my doctorate in environmental research and behavior development. We are literally writing curriculum along the way of everything that we are developing and discovering with Project ARCOTU and architecture and all the different arenas that we're involved with, health and wellness, all of it. Some of the property that we have in Costa Rica is being dedicated for the purpose of development of medicinal properties from the rainforest. So all these different educational aspects and development to try and contribute and play our part in the betterment of our existence and life.
That's amazing. It really seems like I can't even believe how much our projects really align and can support each other in so many ways. I don't know if Christopher Silamon briefed you, but what we're really trying to do with Project Bring Me to Life in our future is to create a school of awakening and a system for not only children, but those that have went through their walks of life and are ready to be awakened and ready to learn, but don't know where to go and don't know where to ask and don't know who they can be safe asking these questions to that won't ridicule them and try to keep them conformed into the old paradigm, so to say. And I'm just so excited that we had the chance today to interview you and to get more information. And I really hope it has inspired viewers to really check out more about ARCOTU and so many other of your amazing projects. Can you go ahead? Is there a website or any other outlooks you can go ahead and shout out?
Our main website is ARCOTU. It's www.arcotu, ARCOTU. And .com, ARCOTU.com, very easy. And you can also go to our broadcasting outreach and begin to follow us through some of the events that we're always dedicated to and supporting to. One of my divisions underneath CavCon Industries is BigCTV.com, Big C as in Charlie, TV.com, and that is a conscious station development of doing what you guys do, but we do it on live streaming. And so we do a lot of communication, orientation, and support many events. And we're doing an event this October, first weekend of October in Asheville, North Carolina, and bringing forth the Resonate Asheville
That's awesome.
Festival 2015, Resonate Asheville. So anybody out there who wants to know more about that amazing expo that's coming up, it is October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, 2015 in Asheville, North Carolina. ResonateAsheville.com. You can get all the information there, or go to BigCTV.com If you can't make it personally, then tune in to the broadcast of our live broadcast on the Sunday's main event from 8 a.m. or from 11 a.m. to 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. I'm sorry. And you'll see a lot of great speakers, a lot of great musicians, sound frequency, cymatics going on, you name it, all kinds of things to help continue to enlighten people as to what it's all about. Right. So you can go to those sites. You can go to my Facebook. Please, everybody out there, Facebook friend request me at facebook.com/Gabriel J. Cavazos. And we'll get connected on Facebook, and you can stay close to everything that's going on. We constantly have it. Charles Gilchrist, one of the world's leading sacred geometry philosopher and fine artist, is also going to be presenting at that same festival. He's a part of my organization, very huge part of it. And my direct mentor in the study of sacred geometry. I would not be where I'm at today if it hadn't been for Charles Leslie Gilchrist, who's one of the most esteemed minds of sacred geometry in our world today. Oh, yeah. And so I'm fortunate that I've developed a relationship with many very, very accomplished individuals in this whole paradigm and awakening that we're all a part of. Yeah. So I'm excited about all of what we're doing and love to share any and all of it with anyone who would love to get involved.
Oh yeah, that's brilliant. And we do have a profile for you, and it's Gabriel. How do you say your last name?
Cavazos.
Okay, I just don't want to mess that up. But yeah, no problem. Check out Gabriel J. Cavazos on our website.
Yeah, and I'm really glad you were able to give Resonate a shout out. We actually interviewed Liz Cox, who I believe is still a big part of that project. Oh, yeah. We interviewed her last year about Resonate and about all the different projects she was a part of, and we're really kind of upset we're not going to be able to personally make it to Resonate this year, but we will definitely be watching and trying to check in.
Oh yeah,
that would be wonderful. I think you guys should jump on board with us and the rest of the way out into the event and be a part of it.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
That would be good for you guys and what you're doing with your podcast and cover some of the evolution of the event. I think it would be wonderful. I'd love for you to do it.
For sure. And
Liz is an ongoing part of the ARCOTU Vision team as well. So we work together not only on this wonderful production that she's created, but Liz is a very strong, committed part of what we're doing as a whole in Project ARCOTU. She plays a really very, very important role.
Oh yeah, yeah. Liz is great, and so I know that you do. You talked about you being a musician, and
I think you wanted to share a little bit more about that, and we would love to hear some of it. Did you have a specific song maybe we could exit the interview with and share with our audience a little bit of what your personal interest is?
Well, it's personal and it's totally directly related to Project ARCOTU. So it's been a wonderful part of my life. All of my life, I've been able to work with some really great, very renowned pop artists, rock artists, hip hop artists, you name it, all along the way. And it's in one way or another somehow played a unique role in influencing me as to where I'm at in the creation of soundtracking and all that orientation that I play a bigger part in the music world today, writing composition and moving towards a whole new orientation of my own personal artistry and expression through biodesign architecture. So it's been really, very, very cool. But I have I have many, many, many tracks that I've written and have co-written. I'm fortunate that my family plays a huge part in the musical aspect of my life and their lives together. They've inherited the genes. And so we have our own record label, DP3 Music Group. We're distributed by Iota Orchard, which is Sony Universal digitally. Nice. And so we have we've been involved in music. All of my kids have been involved in music and love music all of their lives. And two of them play a very intricate part in the DP3 Music Group company. So we do a lot of productions, and we're heavily involved with the transition of integrating hip hop into a more conscious orientation as well.
I love that.
So it's really a unique aspect of some of the creations that we do and participate in. We're heavily involved in soundtracking of movies and so forth and all that. I love doing that immensely. That's going to begin to even be a stronger element of how we outreach to consumers and some of the participation we do with festivals and online programming and entertainment outreach.
Awesome. And we hope that our viewers stay tuned for the rest of the podcast.
Yeah, stay tuned for the card reading and the meditation. We're going to end the interview, and thank you, Gabriel, for being on and talking with us about all these great things that you're doing.
Well, I thank you all for having me. It's a pleasure to be on the program, and hopefully we'll be back to it again. This was a lot of fun, and I'd love to, I could bring some people on with me, Charles, and possibly Michael Rice, and some of the people that play really key roles in everything that we do.
We would love
I appreciate this time.
Thank
you so much.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Hall, and this is your new moon reading for January 9th through 22nd, 2016. So today I brought in some beautiful crystal energy to help us with the wonderful spiritual energy that surrounds us this month, in the month of January. This is a really great time for spiritual reflection, meditation, and just preparing yourself for whatever is to come as we move forward with any new life changes. We have some amethyst here. This is really great for opening up your crown chakra, great for meditation, prayer, psychic abilities. And here we have some selenite. Selenite is a word that comes from the Greek word for moon, referring to the moon goddess, Selene. And it is wonderful for connecting you with the moon's energy, and also for mental clarity and a psychic connection as well. So these stones work really nicely together. I also wanted to mention a little bit about the astrology going on right now. There is the new moon in Capricorn. The sign of Capricorn is a very earthy sign, so it's a wonderful energy that's helping us to ground our dreams, inspirations, or hopes into reality. So starting to take some physical rooted action steps towards our goal is the general message that Capricorn helps us to bring. I'm also hearing the words easy does it, to steady your pace, to ground yourself and really find where your roots are, where your biggest sources of support and practical strength are coming from right now as you move forward, making steps with these dreams and goals that we're working on for the new year. So without further ado, let's go ahead and turn over our cards. Today I'm working with the Angel Tarot deck by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. This is a wonderful deck if you're looking for lots of details and specifics. I love working with these. So let's go ahead and turn over our first card. The first card is the Hermit. This so well reflects all of the messages and the energy that I've been getting so far about what this time is about right now. The Hermit is a card that we get when we are asked to spend some time alone in reflection and in meditation. The Hermit is usually on a path of spiritual discovery, as well as spiritual teaching. The Hermit is a character who oftentimes is the one to go up and hide on the mountain as that person all on their own, and then people go to that wise mystic or sage to get the advice. So this is a good sign if you're someone that is looking to do spiritual teaching. I'm hearing this applies to somebody who's listening out there. And generally, just remember to take it easy during the next couple of weeks, and remember that the focus is still within, so that you can hear the voice of God and collect the insight and wisdom that your guides are really strongly giving you during this time to help prepare you for the months ahead. So let's go ahead and turn over our second card and see what we're getting here. Ooh, the Chariot. the Chariot. So this is a card that tells us that this is also a wonderful time to work on any self-discipline or willpower oriented things in our lives. This says that if you're guided to make any changes in disciplining yourself and bringing about a lifestyle that really helps to bring about new goals that you have, particularly with life purpose, I'm hearing that this is going to be so supportive and wonderful for your path. I'm also hearing that these new changes that you'll be making in your life, disciplining yourself, using your willpower, are going to help to set in long-term changes for the road ahead. Your guides are really pushing you to make changes that you'll carry with you throughout your life. So really take note of the healthy changes you're being guided to make at this time, because they are so wonderfully helping you to achieve your dreams. The Chariot, by the way, is also a card that assures you that there's going to be some success in the goals that you have set out for yourself. So anybody who has any doubts or worries about the changes they're being guided to make, or about the life purpose goals that you have at this time, your angels are saying, let those worries go at this time, because there is a reason you've been given the passion and conviction that you have at this time to go about this path. You will receive some kind of success, it feels like, as you go forward with this in the future. So just take that leap of faith and go forward. All right, let's turn over our third and final card for today and see what we have here. This is a good card for life purpose. I really like this. It looks like towards the end of this particular moon cycle, this couple of weeks we're talking about here, the events might start to pick up the pace around you. It feels as if there's going to be a lot more activity towards the end of this 2 weeks. And Eight of Fire is something that reminds us that with regard to our life purpose, our career work, everything happens in its own perfect timing. So even if things start to really pick up and doors are really starting to open, I'm hearing that Capricorn moon energy coming in again, saying steady the pace. Ground yourself. Take one step at a time. Nobody ever said you had to jump from step A to step Z in one big fell swoop. Just take it one step at a time and know that everything is coming about in exactly the perfect timing for you on your path. So I'm going to be sending you prayers, love, and angels as you set forward with these wonderful goals and dreams. And don't forget to meditate. This is such a great time for that. And if you'd like your own reading, you can check out my website at www.seraphim.com. I do angel readings and past life readings, mediumship, all sorts of fun different things. You can go ahead and contact me there if you're interested, and we can connect on phone, Skype, or email, whatever you would like. Anyways, it's so wonderful to connect with you. Thank you so much for watching, and know, until we meet again, that you are so very loved and so blessed. Bye!
Hello, and welcome to another 2-minute meditation. For this 2-minute meditation, we are going to imagine the future. So sit back, relax, and close your eyes. Become mindful of your breathing. Notice as your lungs fill with air, and as you release your breath, try to exhale all the air that you can. By doing this, it allows us to relax, allows us to calm down our mind, and puts us in a meditative state. So now that you are relaxed and calm, begin to imagine what type of world do you want to live in? What does the quote-unquote future look like to you? And if you believe that, the past and present don't exist, that may be true, but we can still use this idea to our advantage. So what would the future look like to you? What kind of buildings would exist? Would there be free energy? What would the roads look like? What type of technology would we have? Do not limit yourself by what is practical. Just allow your mind, your creativity, your imagination to go freely. Imagining the best possible world, the best possible future for yourself, for your enjoyment, for love, for peace and harmony. Just continue to think about what that would be. What would that consist of? What kind of clothes would we be wearing? Would there be any sort of space exploration? Think about that. And the more you think about it, the more you do this meditation, the more the universe will bring that experience, the more the universe will bring opportunities for you to create that experience. You can practice this meditation more and more if you would like to get more benefits from it. So wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, and come on back. Thank you all for joining us. Find more at csclawson.wordpress.com. Thank you, and have a great week.